good to be back, man.
It's good to have you back. It's been a long time since we've done Worth It. This episode is a little bit of a reunion for us.
People ask me, when's Worth It coming back? And I say, I don't know, but it's back.
Yeah, now we know.
I've actually been away for a little bit.
That's right.
Started my own channel, do my own thing. You know, it's like when a kid graduates from high school and goes to college and is like trying out new stuff.
So we're still in high school?
So we're still in high school.
You guys are doing
We're fifth-year seniors?
Adam and I have planned a new set of episodes. We're gonna try some delicious foods at different price points.
Whoa, are you stealing my line now?
No, yours is coming up. For this episode, we're featuring sauces. It's not going to be sauces solo, like ketchup or hot sauce. It's going to be dishes where a sauce is a key component of the dish.
This is going to be a rather interesting episode.
Is it worth it? Make it worth it. Make it worth it. Worth it. Worth it.
So, Steven, it's been a long time. Can you please hit me with that Worth It opener?
Let's go! Today on Worth It, we're going to be trying 3 different sauces at 3 drastically different price points to find out which one is the most worth it at its price.
So our first restaurant is a Oaxacan restaurant called Gishbak, where we're gonna see David and Maria and learn how they make the most incredible mole.
Mole, how did I not see that coming?
Gishbak serves a couple of different moles in a couple of different ways. So you can have it in more of the classic way where it's cooked with a protein. You can also have it served simply over some tortilla chips, which is how we're gonna have it, but we're also gonna eat it the other way.
Gishbak is a dialect word. It's the place we come from.
And what are some examples of traditional Oaxacan dishes that you serve?
La barbacoa, mole, el coloradito, principalmente el mole y la barbacoa son más tradicionales.
I didn't know what mole is until I moved to LA, 5 years ago. What is mole?
Mole, there is like salsa, but it's really thick salsa. We use different kind of chiles for each mole because the mole is really thick paste. We just reduce with chicken broth.
Después de ahí ya se sirve con el pollo.
What is the feeling that you have when you think about mole?
But if you hear mole, you feel like you're gonna get a fiesta.
Party.
Yeah.
For the chips, 2 kind of mole. There's a coloradito and mole negro.
The negro has chocolate, right?
Yes. Coloradito is with chile guajillo. That's where it become red. Cover the chips with mole negro or coloradito and top it with queso fresco.
Do you have a favorite style personally?
Mine is negro.
Negro.
Negro? Yeah.
Sí.
Steven, it's great to be dining with you again. And how fitting that we're leading into the new season with an appetizer.
So do we have a main course and dessert this episode, or?
Yes, however, the dessert is already here. This is a special horchata that they make. Cheers, Steven.
Cheers.
Well, that's nice. I say negro first.
I know.
I'm looking at this one.
I'm getting this one.
Here's what you want when selecting a chip. As much coverage with still a clean corner to grasp.
Place to pick. Oh!
That didn't happen. So flavorful.
Whoa. I wonder what chocolate they use.
I'm pretty sure it's some sort of like very unsweetened raw chocolate.
Oh, this is chocolate?
Yeah, this is a chocolate.
What kind of chocolate is it?
We get this imported from Oaxaca.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. This is my first time having mole negro in a restaurant. I feel like this mole has now clicked in my head what mole should taste like though.
So let's try the coloradito next.
Okay. Cheers. It's interesting how mole is so earthy.
Mm-hmm. A big flavor that's comprised of many subtle flavors.
Oh,
Thank
my
you.
gosh. A sauce that can be served across multiple dishes. Right.
So now we're gonna try the coloradito with pork ribs. Woo! It's so good, Steven. With like the fat and the flavor from the meat, really amazing.
Let's do the chicken now. And I'm gonna do it with a tortilla.
I don't know where we go from here. I mean, this is like as good as sauce gets, right?
I agree.
Day 2 of our sauce adventure. So now it's that time on Worth It where we learn something that we probably didn't need to learn.
Sauce fact.
Gucci Mane famously once said in an interview, if you don't got sauce, then you lost, but you can also get lost in the sauce.
Right, lost in the sauce.
The sauce can be representative of so many things in life.
Anything can be a sauce that you can get lost in.
I've definitely been lost in the sauce before.
For our next sauce, we're going to a place called Bang Bang Noodles.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe you've heard of them. It's a hand-pulled noodle business. They're soon to open a location in Culver City at the Citizen Market. And that's where we're gonna be meeting Chef Robert, who's gonna be showing us his Tingling cumin dry noodles.
Bang Bang Noodles is basically a concept of hand-pulled noodles. It's from northern China. I'm trying to bring the actual experience of hand-pulled noodles from the street to US. You see your noodles being made and you see kind of like a start to finish process too, and you're kind of cooking with the actual person. I want to show that street food can be gourmet. I do a noodle called byangbyangmin. It's a hand-pulled noodles. Byangbyangmin is a sound that it makes when you slap it on the table. That's where I played off of the name Bang Bang Noodles.
And why is that a necessary step?
Definitely a way to activate and wake up this noodle. Basically activate the gluten. With the sauce called Tingling cumin, the tingly part is from the Szechuan peppercorns. I start with whole spices. I toast the whole spices, like cinnamon and star anise, Chinese cardamom, and give them more of a robust flavor. That sauce specifically highlights like northern style Chinese barbecue. It's not a very traditional dish, but it's really a traditional flavor. The tingly sensation is something that gives you a little bit of a buzz factor, which is called mala. When I cook the noodle, I put the cumin sauce in there first. I have some of the dark aged vinegar that I personally think it's a key factor of Xi'an and northern style of dishes. Once I put a little bit of the chili oil, that chili oil brings more of a body to the actual sauce and it kind of marries it up too. The traditional way to do it is lamb. I finish it off with a little bit of a cabbage, green onions, and cilantro, and a little bit of a pickle. There's obviously a lot of spices involved, and I want to basically give you a little break.
When we do eat the food, we're both wearing white here, as you can see.
Okay.
Do you have any recommendations on like maneuvering it so that we don't spray or splatter?
Oh my God,
sauce
I wear
on
black. I
ourselves?
just wear black and I wear an apron. If you have a little tail on your noodle, you might want to be careful.
Bang Bang Noodles, let's go. I am supremely excited for this meal.
Are you ready to eat?
I wanna pull mine up too. I'm scared. Here, I'm gonna do it. Wait.
Oh, you got a bunch of lamb in there too?
Oh.
You know what's not allowed? Saucing my shirt.
Cheers.
Steven.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Ever been to Disneyland and be like, run that back? You know, like
Yeah.
California Adventure, run that back. Hold up.
Like when you get there early enough and you can just stay on the ride.
Mm-hmm.
The sauce is incredible. It has a nice like adhering quality to the noodle. It's got like body to it.
Wow. Wow.
Here's the other thing I just noticed about this noodle style and wearing a white shirt. I want to eat this bowl of noodles in like 20 seconds. In order to avoid splatter, you have to lift more slowly. And so the benefit of wearing the white shirt is that it slows down your meal, prolongs the enjoyment.
Oh, so you would actually recommend wearing a white shirt when you go eat
Yes.
these noodles. I just realized the texture that this gets for me. It's the same satisfaction I get when it's a perfectly cooked boba. QQ, man. This is
yeah.
super QQ.
You know how I know a sauce is good? When I want to keep recoating the thing in its sauce. Like, oh, that's what I get, okay?
Cucumber break.
Oh, wow. Love that.
Wow.
I love that. This is like sweet and refreshing.
Yeah.
With a little bit of spice. This is like primarily spice.
The word he used in the interview, by the way, I've never just heard Sichuan described as a zap
A
and
zap,
a buzz.
right.
Like those
Yeah.
two words perfectly encapsulate the type of spice that
Yeah.
Sichuan peppercorns. Oh no, my pants. I see more stuff coming.
It's a new dish right here. It's actually called Xi'an tomato dry.
This is a dish that I think a lot of people are experiencing in Xi'an. It has a highlight of fresh flavors. The heavy cumin, the heavy spicing is great with the barbecue flavor, but if you're gonna go for the noodle dishes, it's really like tomatoes and bok choy.
Before we get to our final sauce, we're gonna stop for a little sauce interlude. So we've had two savory sauces. I thought it'd be nice to have a dessert sauce.
Oh.
We're gonna go to Hilltop Coffee and Kitchen to have their beignets with berry sauce. The beignets here are fried to order. Yeasted dough, ice cream scoop, fryer, two sauces. Sauce is just an omnipresent thing. Once you start thinking about it, you can't not have sauce.
It's everywhere.
I'm gonna start with the berry sauce. How about you?
I'm gonna pour my sauce on top of the beignet.
That's why I like eating with you.
Why?
Because you do stuff that I would never do, but I'm glad to see it. That's amazing. All right, now a little Nutella sauce.
I mean, per usual, the sauce is just fun.
Before our final sauce, sauce
Sauce
facts.
facts.
The 5 French mother sauces are essential staples in classical French cuisine. Sauce quiz.
Oh,
Can
no.
you name the 5 French mother sauces?
Oh no!
Oh, no.
I don't think I can.
One of them is Española, right? Is a Mornay one of them?
It is not.
A bechamel. A bechamel. A bechamel.
Bechamel is one.
No, it's the roux.
No, roux is a base component of a bechamel.
Burr sauce.
You want me to just
Burmont. Burr Blanc.
No. There is a tomato.
It's just called tomato?
It's called tomato.
I got.
Hollandaise.
Of course.
The last one is described as a blonde sauce.
Velouté.
The sauces were named by the chef Escoffier, who is also known for modernizing French cuisine techniques in the early 1900s.
Speaking of Escoffier, our last restaurant makes a dish that is a version of a dish from Escoffier's cookbook. So we're on our way now to see Dave at Pajoli and learn about this pressed duck for 2.
Wait, you're saying pressed duck? Like
Yes. They have this device that's actually from the era that is like a mechanical crank that compresses the duck carcass to secrete a juice that becomes the sauce.
what?
Yeah.
They're going to squish a duck
Yeah.
and we're gonna drink the juices. Wow.
Our goal was an upscale French bistro, which has kind of evolved into this Parisian-style bistro, but we're very much looking through the lens of Southern California. The name of the dish, we'll say it's the duck press, but it's essentially the unbled duck that is pressed, and then you make a sauce out of all of the drippings from it. We basically looked at the Escoffier cookbook, which is a very loose framework of a recipe, and said, how do we modify this to work for us? The general premise behind the dish is to utilize the entire bird. We bring in whole ducks. We immediately remove the heart, liver, and lungs and set them aside. We take the whole bird, we remove the wings, the neck, the legs. We brine the legs, and then separately brine the body. Then we let it air dry for 12. Once it's dried, we stuff it with butter, thyme, garlic, shallot, rosemary. Then we roast it. Heavily caramelize the skin, but it's always very rare. We return the heart, liver, and lungs back into it while it's still warm, so those temper up. Table side, we remove the breasts. Those go back to the kitchen where they finish cooking them. Well, I cut up the body at the kitchen in front of the diner. The body goes into the press. Basically, you fill this thing with the cut up duck body parts. And in our case, it's the duck with the heart, liver, and lungs. So it's like the rib cage, the wing bones sometimes go in there. And you just crank it down and all the juices from everything that's in that press come out.
We've been doing the show for 10 seasons. This is, I think, the most involved dish I've ever heard of. Is it worth the time? Is it worth it to you?
If it wasn't, we wouldn't do it. Separately in a pan, toasted black peppercorn, add the cognac, flame it off, add the burgundy, let that reduce, add the duck jus, reduce that, press all the juice out of the body, the raw innards with the partially cooked body, and then you mount that into the jus. The sauce itself is also challenging in the sense that it has a very finite life. Once you start the cooking process, once you start coagulating those proteins, unless you remove heat and stop the cooking immediately, it will overcook. From the moment you get it to the moment you finish your course, that sauce is constantly changing. If you think about a piece of meat when you cook it, it goes from rare to medium well to well done, right? And it has that progression of blood red through grayscale. The sauce does the same thing because you're essentially cooking the juices that are coming out of the meat the same way you'd cook the meat. So we basically cook this sauce to medium rare.
The sauce is medium rare.
That's the goal.
I never considered that term would be applicable to a sauce.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Natalie is our sous chef, does a lot of the prep behind the scenes on the duck. She's gonna be plating all the things, so you'll get the roasted duck breast with the sauce, duck leg bread pudding, based off of a weird section in the Escoffier cookbook that talks about savory puddings. than the salad, with a vinaigrette made from the drippings from the duck and duck skin. Traditionally, the salad would be the closing because it's to lighten it up. We're a small bistro, not a fine dining restaurant where you have hours at the table. We just want to give you everything and take the pretense of you have to do this and you have to do that and just say do whatever you want. If we did it right, it all works.
I don't think I felt this giddy eating a meal on Worth It in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I was this excited with anticipation.
Medium rare sauce.
Cheers, Steven.
Cheers.
It's so not as heavy as you expect it will be.
Yes.
It's so like bright.
It's actually very drinkable.
Super drinkable sauce.
Who's drinking their sauce these days?
When the sauce is good, you know? It's funny, you really do taste the minerality of blood in it.
The color looks different on the plate than in the bowl.
A little bit,
Is it changing?
It's for sure changing. Get the hell out of here.
Sorry.
It's fucking tasty.
It is. The flavor is evolving. Why don't we go to the bread pudding next?
Okay.
Savory pudding.
Wow.
Oh, whoa.
So this is not what I was expecting inside, but it's like kind of a meat pie.
As daunting as French cuisine can be sometimes to me,
Right.
it's like, what are these words? How do you pronounce them? Do you need to add like the little and you know when you say something? I have eaten a beef stew. That is the tie-in for me. Like that childhood stew that my mom made is like the tie-in to this duck put in pie.
Let's now check in with the sauce.
Is it different?
Getting a lot more like gaminess to it now. I think like those really bright acidic notes have kind of mellowed a bit, and now it's way meatier.
This is a sauce that is timed. What other sauce does that? This was confusing to me because like I've never eaten a salad after my meal.
Really?
This is crazy too, right? There's like actual duck in the vinaigrette. I can't say that word, vinaigrette. I said vinaigrette the first time. This is duck skin. We've got Peking duck in here. I used to think Peking duck was like the most you could do to a duck to extract flavor, and yet I was wrong.
That did just kind of like do a little harmonious circle for
Around
me.
the world kind of thing?
We're now back into the light acidic realm.
That's so good.
All right, Steven, so what an episode. Sauce, who would have thought? But now that we've done it, it makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
So we had the mole on chips at Gish Bak, Tingling cumin dry noodles from Bang Bang Noodles, and then finally we had the pressed duck from Pajoli, which was one of the craziest food things I've ever seen.
Literally duck sauce.
Before we pick our Worth It winners though, I did want to call out a bonus thing that occurred. So at Pajoli, I noticed this bottle on the wall that was chartreuse, but they had done something to it. When they have leftover truffle scraps at the restaurant, they take some of those scraps and they put it in this chartreuse and let it age with this alcohol. Did a little taste test. Pretty good.
I actually liked it a lot. Truffle is a fun ingredient.
All right, Steven, it's time to pick our Worth It winners. Now, of course, every location was worth it. We're merely picking our favorites from the experience.
What a dilemma we have here. I think the dish that I personally enjoyed the most at its given price point was the Bang Bang Noodles. However, this is a sauce episode, Adam.
Ooh.
And I would not say that that sauce was the most worth it in its price. So, my friend, we're gonna go with the mole at Gish Bak as the most worth it at its price point. Mole is a damn good sauce. Like, we should have a mole episode, to be honest.
We honestly should, yeah. My Worth It winner is gonna be Pajoli. It's just such a unique story of how this dish came to this specific restaurant in Los Angeles. And that whole package, I know it's expensive, but it really feels like you're getting something really unique and great.
It is very unique, and you can't do that by yourself. You have to go to a restaurant to get that sauce.
Adam, who's your Worth It winner?
Gish Bak.
Wow.
That was our Worth It sauce episode. Our next video is going to be whole chickens.